Hi, I'm Jen Best from Beaker Button and I'm going to show you how to make a singleton button. These are fabric wrapped buttons and you can use all sorts of different fabrics. You make really pretty motifs. You will need a sharp darning needle, fabric squares that are 3 times the button diameter, about 1 metre of thread and some wadding and the rings the size of your button. I thread my needle doubled and then I knot the end. So to make a circle out of a square, you're going to fold your square of fabric in half and then fold it in half again. And then fold it into a triangle so you've got a raw edge point. Hold the bit that's closed, so the folded edge, and just cut a very small curve off of the end of the triangle. And then when you open that up, you'll have something that's more or less a circle. You can obviously draw around and cut something if you wish. Place the ring onto the fabric and work out where halfway between the edge of the ring and the edge of the fabric is. Take the ring off and then work in a running stitch, quite a big running stitch, all the way around that line. If you have difficulty imagining the line, you can always draw it on with a bit of pencil. And you're just going to work around all the way around, nice big running stitch, because we're going to pull this tight and it's easier to pull tight if it's big. And I'm just following that line round between where the ring would have been and the edge of the fabric. Just doing 3 or 4 stitches at a time and then pulling it through. 3 or 4 more stitches and then pull it through. When you get round to the knot where you started, you're going to try and make sure that you can get an even number of stitches, because you want your needle to come out at the back of the fabric. That's important, to come out at the back of the fabric. I'm just pulling that there just to straighten it out a little. Then you're going to put your wadding on first and then the ring on second. And then just pull the thread a little, and as you're pulling the thread, start to tuck those edges down. And you're going to tuck them under the ring a little bit. You're almost folding them over under themselves. And if you keep your thumb on top and then pull a little, keep your thumb on top and then pull a little, and you keep doing that until it all sort of gathers into the centre. And it's going to look really untidy at this point. That's absolutely fine. We're going to neaten this up with stitching. Once you've got it as tight as you can, you're going to make long stitches from one side of the fabric to the other across the back. Each time you make a stitch, you're going to turn the button slightly so you end up working those stitches around in a circle, and you're just catching both edges of the fabric on either side, and get some stitches in just to pull everything down together. Don't worry at this point about making it neat. You're just trying to gather everything up into the centre, pulling tight as you're going. So this is a gradual process. This isn't something that happens instantly. You're pulling those threads, and each time you pull, you'll get a little bit tighter on the back. And then you do the next stitch and that's a little bit tighter on the back. And then once you've got it so it's looking like it's closed, you can go round again and catch any of the little edges of fabric or little folds of fabric that look like they're sitting up, and pull tight again. So this is still working in a circle, and I'm still catching all those little edges down. Each stitch makes the work a little firmer. You see why you need strong thread and why I double mine up. Just those last few stitches. You'll feel it get quite hard under your fingers, quite firm. These are perfectly washable if you use a washable ring, so something that doesn't rust, and you're using washable fabric. And if you haven't got wadding, you can use a little bit of stuffing. I just find wadding's a little bit easier to use. It gives you something to stitch into later. It gives you a little bit of puff on the top of the button. So once it's nice and firm and around the edges nice and smooth, you're going to turn it onto the back again and just make 4 or 5 stitches all in the same place. And that will fasten off the thread. And just going underneath those threads in the centre there. And then when you're done, you can cut your thread. You could leave the thread to sew a tail, or you can even make a little shank if you want to. And that's your singleton done. So I've embroidered all of these with leaves, and you can put any embroidery you like on them, or beads, or just leave them blank if you've used a pretty fabric. Thanks for watching.